Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. I'm Inquisitor Temperance Price, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is the third volume in a report on the Valentyne Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesis adaptation of Warhammer 40,000's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Tom McGee and players Ryan LaPlante as Inquisitor Lucius Valentyne, Tyler Hewitt as Attikus Viz, Laura Hamstra as Eli Sharp, and Della Borovic as Morgan Rawls. My report shows that the Inquisitorial band are fighting through an assault within the palace. Morgan and Eli escaped an ambush in the atrium. Valentyne destroyed the command center in a hail of grenades, and Attikus found himself face to face with the aeldari Trin Rakai. Can this band of heroes reunite and escape the palace, or will they die in the attempt? Find out next in this episode of the Valentyne Heresy.
Purged audio file. Date unknown. Despite having what I was looking for, this world is a barren rock. You let me carry on as I see fit here, for as long as I see fit here. Well, I can give you the clouds. Eli and Morgan, you are on the ground floor of the Cloud Palace. There's a coup in progress. There's at least two of the royal gunships have opened up on the ground floor, have left everyone, all the civilians, a bunch of them are dead, a bunch of them are injured. It's havoc, but are now kind of in some of the ones who are able are starting to get up and honestly just looking for the king. Space Marine Forrest Pollard has turned against his former master and has instructed the many, many people more loyal to him than the crazy space coke guy to move on his orders. They weren't expecting a box of grenades on the second floor, but really, who among us is? The two of you have Valentyne's weapons. Mm-hmm. Eli, you're holding his power sword. Morgan, you've got his pistol. The coup is underway. You know he is upstairs somewhere. You are unsure what he's been up to due to the comms blackout that you can now ascertain was of all the non-Forrest Pollard affiliated channels. So it's clear that there are people moving within the palace who were aware that this was going to happen. You can see guards getting up who ducked when the firing opened up. You only have a couple of moments to act. That said, doors are still open. You can still see outside, and you can see these sort of hovering vehicles that we described earlier. These are the drop ships that would just come in and like zip cord people down, sort of flying in a holding pattern around the Cloud Palace. What do you do?
I have to find Valentyne. I mean, Eli is hoping that he's located Trin Rakai by now. Like, gotta fucking share information. Gotta hope this has to go down.
Great. Morgan, how about you?
Yeah, looking out for any signs of anything that we can grab or use or any open areas, because it's like we know he's upstairs, but we don't know where. Mm-hmm. Whether there's any kind of like maps we could get off of any of the other people or corpses. Yeah. So we are running.
Just booking it up the stairs.
At this point, I think, it's just like fucking running
and keeping eyes peeled for anything
and hoping
useful.
for the best.
Well, you identify such a thing quickly. However, because Eli rolled a triumph last time, I'm going to give you guys a free round on this as you basically start running up what's left of these stairs that have now been kind of blasted apart by munitions fire. Guards are getting up from hitting the deck up there as well, who are clearly loyal to Forrest Pollard. So as they're getting up and kind of like bringing their weapons to bear, the two of you get a surprise round on them. They're between you and kind of the second floor where Valentyne disappeared. Again, you're unaware, but he's got to be up, right? So you continue your way up and in. What are you trying to do about these two guards? Morgan, are you going to swoon on them again?
No, it's a mid-chest shot with the bolt pistol. It's just fast and mean.
All right. We can start with that. So you're taking one.
Yep.
We'll assume that Eli is taking the other. Morgan,
Yeah.
let's do yours first. Because Eli, I imagine you're getting up close and personal since you're wielding a power sword, or
Yes.
would you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Eli will he'll stay to the side to give Morgan a clean shot, but will
Great.
be
Yeah.
rushing at them.
Plenty of room, curved staircase. So Morgan, let's start with your shot and then see what happens. So this is ranged light, improbably, despite being a bolt pistol. It is built for one-handed commissars and thus more than usable in your capable sniper hands.
Yep.
So you get your basic the range band, I think, is probably 2. You're running up a flight of stairs with these guys, so it's not like you have to aim far. I'm going to give you a setback for shooting while running, unless you have magical Morgan shit that would offset that, which
All
you may
I have is I have crack shot, which I remove a setback if I use aim.
You can take,
so.
Yeah, you can take that one away. I think that's fair to say. They've got cover from getting up. They're still kind of halfway between this stone banister, so there's some random shit in the way. Not a lot of cover, so it's only one setback. And I think that's it.
Okay, so just the one setback.
Yeah, after
right.
your sniper nonsense.
All right, I'm gonna roll it. You've got 3 successes and 3 advantages.
Okay.
And
How
then
much
Ryan would have
damage
the
does
stats
the
on
pistol
that. I don't
do?
know. What does it do, Ryan?
Pistol is base 10. If it's a bolt pistol, so 10 plus however many successes you rolled.
3.
Fabulous.
Yep.
It is Pierce 2 and Vicious 2.
So the chest just blows out the back on the first guard, who does a bit of the convulsing mid-standing thing before kind of toppling over the banister and falling down into the crowd below, which unfortunately means there's a gun down there now, which probably is going to cause some ruckus. But hey,
Oh, that's all right.
ain't your ruckus. So guard is down. As Eli, you rush past into the second guy. This is melee, I think light for the power sword, correct, Ryan?
Melee light, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again,
Single-handed.
Warhammer. So melee light, so that's 2 difficulty.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a boost for running. You said you were kind of holding it in front of you like a spear. This is just a charge at this point.
Yes.
Your momentum, and also it's a power sword. So if you can just fall onto him with this thing, it's going to cut this little motherfucker up.
Can I pass forward a boost from my advantages?
That's exactly what I was going to start digging for in my memory palace, and I couldn't remember. So yeah, that's great. So you get a boost going forward. I think that's it. Unless Eli, there's something. Is there anything Eli specific stuff that would give you a benefit? Do you think?
I have some things that I think, given the difficulty of this one, I think I'll save some stuff. There's a couple things that I can only do once per session that I think I'm going to save. So I'm just going to roll.
Hell yeah.
I swing mightily for 5 advantages and 4 successes.
What's your brawn?
My brawn is 5.
5. Okay, so that will do 11 base damage plus your number of successes.
So 15.
Yep, so that'll do 15. And it's Breach 2, which we have decided, based on previous seasons, just counts as double that much Pierce. So Pierce 4.
Yeah, I know it's meant to do a hell of a lot more than that, but for game balancing sake, it would have to be fucking Excalibur to have Pierce 20 or whatever the shit. So yeah, Pierce 4. But you know what? I gotta tell you, these guys, their armor's not that good. They're on a planet where only they have weapons. And not unlike stormtroopers in Star Wars, that means they're like, whatever, we're the only ones with weapons. Who cares? So, Laura, how does this guy go down? What does Eli do to this dude?
Eli efficiently stabs it into his torso and then just lifts up so it cuts through up through his chest and out his neck.
Knave to chaps.
Goodbye.
I like it. Yep.
Nice.
Down he goes.
It is swift, efficient. There is very little emotion.
Yep. Fair enough. As gore rains down, the two of you rush forward to see a slightly stunned Valentyne just shaking off the impact of both the explosion and bouncing off a fucking permacrete wall, running for a set of stairs. There's a room on fire around you. You can hear screams of agony. Clearly, the Inquisitor has been doing his grisly work. And Morgan, to your tremendous relief, you see a rosette out around his neck, a cap upon his head. It's fucking Inquisition time. Nice. The rest falls away. Valentyne, you see Eli and Morgan, Clarence and Captain Rawls struggling forward, bearing tremendous gifts. You may be bearing arms, but so are they.
Excellent. We need to find Attikus, and he's just going to hand the power fist to you, Eli, because you're the stronger of everybody.
He'll trade you.
Yeah, he'll take the sword. Do you have a gun currently on you?
I have a las pistol.
Congratulations.
I have like a dueling las pistol.
You now have two. One just is spun up out of his holster and handed to you as he takes his bolt pistol from Morgan.
Yep.
And Valentyne, for the first moment in a while, things feel right. You're good at subterfuge, but it's nice to just have your armory back. You know Attikus is upstairs. You've got to get to him. That just makes you so happy. So very happy. And a smile begins to spread across your face. And I'm going to need from you let's go with, what were we using for your tempered will? That normally applies to your...
Tempered will remove setback.
Yeah. Let's get discipline. Discipline's the right one for this. You feel like you should take a moment and just carve a big fucking smiling face into the wall with this sword. It would be so easy. The sword cuts through it, and then everyone would know they should be happy. So I need discipline. This is going to be difficulty 5. I'm going to spend a story point to make it worse. So that's 3 and 2. 1 red, 4 purple. You can use your tempered will for this.
There currently aren't any setbacks, so do you want me to add it as boost? Or
add it
visible
as boost.
Setback?
Add it as a boost. I'm also going to give you a boost for being on mission. You've got shit to do. You're not easily distracted. I'll give you a boost for knowing you need to get Attikus's arm if he's going to be in any way useful. And I think I'm going to give you a boost for just the happiness overwhelming you is quite something. But so is the cold fury you've directed towards this entire planet in your typical, sociopathic way. But this planet's got to die. And if you're busy carving smiley faces, you can't do that. So that's what I would give you. And then I think Laura just had a bunch of boosts. So we'll throw another boost your way from that.
Yeah, I had 5 advantage.
So you can have 2 boost.
Great.
Anything else you want to make an argument for here, Ryan? As your visions begin to overwhelm you.
I think a story point here feels applicable for this general business. I think he's got the weapon, he's got a goal, but I don't know if any of that affects this. I mean, the nice thing is it's power sword, so carving a face doesn't take that long. Let's find out what happens. Good luck with this roll, Tom. 4 success, 4 advantage, 1 despair.
Ouch.
What?
Whoops.
Ouch.
That sucks.
That is...
Yep, it's bad, but I also succeed, and it's so good for us. I don't know how that works. Good luck.
Valentyne, the euphoria you feel is overwhelming. And again, as someone who's trained on drugs, it's an odd feeling to have something like this overwhelming your senses in a way that you are generally trained to avoid and have never experienced really in this way. And so you force your way through it. It's absurd. It's absurd to stop to do this childish thing in the middle of your mission. You're on a quest for the Emperor's very life, and this is nonsense. So you shake the urge out of your head and begin to bring your compatriots forward. And you hear a voice seemingly just over your shoulder say, "Well, that's very disappointing. Honestly, Valentyne, I expected more of you." And looking around, you just like out of the corner of your eye, you almost see a female figure, arms crossed, giving you a disapproving look, like an instructor back in the Scholar Progenium. But they're gone. When you turn, it's very like Scrooge with the poker. You turn with the sword, and there's no one there. But you are aware that your visions are getting worse. This isn't I fell asleep. This isn't I was overwhelmed by a vision of the Emperor dying. This is something else entirely. And it's starting to invade your waking mind, which, as those of us who've read the Eisenhorn books know, not the best thing to start happening to an Inquisitor. But nevertheless, tons of success. So you forge forward. So, Valentyne, your despair triggers worsening of your psychic visions. They're now starting to bleed over into reality, as well as seemingly take on forms, which is not great from an Inquisitorial lens. But that's a problem for future Valentyne. Current Valentyne has to get your best boy's arm. So, Valentyne, Morgan, Eli, is there anything, Valentyne, you would say to them now that you've blinked away? You desperately want to tell them not to worry and be happy, but you know that's nonsense and not what is called for here.
I got a tempered will for a reason. Valentyne just says to Attikus, and then we claim Trin Rakai, we claim the seed if we can, and we get the chug out of here. Also good to see you.
Is there a moment to try and get the helmet from this guard that Eli cut down?
Sure.
Just because apparently if they were ducked down before the hail of bullets came in, they're getting information that no one else is. So if anything, keeping that just so we have a heads up of the movement of the rest of the people.
Sure.
I did go through neck, not head, so...
Yep. Good flavor text, Laura. That could have really gone badly for all involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm taking this helmet.
Okay, so Morgan, you put the helmet on, or just like hold it up to your head like a conch.
Yeah, I guess put the helmet on because I need both hands for the sniper rifle.
Yeah,
so.
great. So you put the helmet on, and immediately you're getting, you can tell you're patched into the network, and you hear guard reports. Yeah. You just have this. You don't need to roll for this. You hear soldiers kind of coming in saying, the commander has secured the portal, but he seems confused. There was an item that the king was supposed to have, but seemingly it's here? We don't know what. Sorry, we're getting new orders, and Pollard just comes in and says, "Stand by to eliminate everyone aboard this palace. If this thing fucking works, I will rip Fred." And then the comms just cut out for a second. Is like it's very clear he's going off. And one of the guards says, "All right, you heard the commander. Everyone stand by to liquidate the palace." And there's clearly some unease in the voice, like. This may be this may be going too far for some of these folks' tastes. Outside, you also get, I assume, Morgan, would you be clicking through comm channels?
Yeah. Making sure that her end is muted, but clicking through everything.
No, we're good here. How are you?
Right.
Yeah, so then you get the birds outside, and you hear one of the grav vehicle pilots just saying, she just kind of comes on in a bit of a panic and says, we've had reports of ships taking off across the planet. Are the containment shields down? And other people just be scramble some of the other craft. We keep anything that's out there off of us. Keep them all away from the Cloud Palace until the commander says otherwise. Click channel. And you just hear a blast of static. And Lizzo Lizardman's pained voice screaming between Binaric Outburst and Gothic, saying, alone, can't be interesting, can't be fun, we're alone. And then finally you click it one more time, and on the other end you hear, as you patch into Toby's network.
Oh, there we go. I will I guess, patch over to Toby, and so Toby can finally take off from Eli's shoulder and be up in the air, but then click back over to the guards and making sure that she's completely muted on her end.
Great. And this is all happening while you're running up flights of stairs.
Yes.
Like, this isn't just like, well, hang on, I'm going to listen to some exposition. And you hear on their end, they're like, the commander's going to attempt something. He says we should brace. Meanwhile, upstairs, Attikus, your golden hand is around the throat of an aeldari. You've never seen an aeldari. They have sort of sharp elven features. This one has striking green eyes with heavy bags under them. You can tell you're looking at an immortal face, but one that is truly well used. There are deep lines in this face that honestly, in some ways, almost reflect what you've seen in Frederick. Just a life of wanton excess that's catching up. Trin Rakai wears very heavily modified Eldar armor, which again would be unfamiliar to you, but you can kind of see overlapping sort of like carapace pieces. But they've been let out. They've been broken up a bit, and you can tell they're almost ceremonial now. They're held together by like fine silk string. It's a little bit like sort of ceremonial samurai armor, where it's like chunks of plate rather than actual functional armor. The helmet does evoke for you a little bit of what you saw back on Last Gleaming for the like some of the Xenos tech that resembles the helmet that Gideon Kotov had crafted. So again, I think this is enough, Attikus, for you to kind of put this stuff together. But it's been hollowed out and is clearly... You get the sense he's wearing this because it's comfortable, makes him feel powerful, not because he's actually armored. Like, there's no faceplate. His face is exposed. He's almost wearing it like a Grand Poobah hat from the Flintstones. It's just a mark of status. Otherwise, he is wearing like comfortable robes, very loungy, just sort of wearing his status upon his shoulders and head. His expression is one of the absolute deepest shock, outrage, and to some extent offense that a monkey dared to jump upon the bed. The courtesans around him are again panicking, screaming, and back here it is like cushions and beds and drink and food, mirrors everywhere. It is a pure pit of excess. And you clasp his throat, and with, again, just a bit of a scoff. And you can hear Wickstrup screaming at you as he rushes in. But again, you slipped away real fast. But you only got eyes for the aeldari. And he sort of through the clenched fingers says, Now, monkey, surely you don't want to do that. If my heart stops, if my soul returns to a soul gem, then this whole dream falls from the sky.
Attikus will bring his face close down to this Xenos freak and say, if that's supposed to be some kind of trump card, you picked the wrong monkey. I don't know a fucking thing about anything you just said, and if it means killing you means killing me, I would be glad to die for the Emperor on this day. But you've an Inquisitor to meet. I'm gonna pick him up, wrench him up to his feet, and
You don't get far,
okay.
Because as you wrench him up to his feet, you feel a dagger against your throat. And with trembling voice behind you, Duke Wickstrup says, "You know not what you do. You must put him down and beg forgiveness."
I back up. He's behind me, like...
Yeah, he's come around behind you with a dagger to your throat.
Okay, yeah. I back up and try to smash him into one of these mirrors behind us.
Okay. Can you roll me a melee light?
Yes.
This is difficulty 2 because it's a melee attack. I'm going to give you a boost for being a big, heavy dude. If you say you just throw your body weight into someone.
I'm a big, little, heavy dude.
That just kind of happens. I'm going to give you a boost for just how difficult this terrain is. For anyone to keep their footing in this room full of pillows and nonsense is extraordinarily difficult. So that gives you some advantage.
Okay.
And I will give you a setback for the blade at your throat.
Fair. And just to paint a picture, this is 3 bodies moving. I am bringing Trin Rakai with me as I back Wexthrop into this wall.
Sure.
And I roll. That is 1 success only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 advantage.
Okay. There's a shattering of glass as you drive Wexthrop back into one of these mirrors, not caring about the dagger or its proximity to your throat. But you've been in barracks fights where people have pulled knives, let alone all the combat you've seen with orcs. And
I know this guy doesn't have it in him to
and you're
properly cut a jugular. No,
because if he did, you'd already be bleeding out.
He's doing shit that he's seen in movies. Yeah, he doesn't know.
You jam him back into the mirror. He grunts with kind of pain as the mirror shards pierce his back, and he kind of crumples amidst them, looking at the blade like it's betrayed him, and to some extent like he can't believe that he didn't have the gumption to use it. And
that's all I need is to have him shaken off of me, and I am using I'll use the power arm to strong arm Trin Rakai, just wrench his wrist up behind his back, make sure he feels it, and then with my flesh arm on his shoulder or the scruff of his loose fitting armor now, I'm marching him out to the door.
Sure. Courtesans are throwing fists and kicks and spit, not at you, at him on the way out. They're throwing food and shit at him as you drag him out. And behind you, the Duke just in kind of a shallow and defeated voice says, "If you think you're helping the Emperor with this, my love, you're not. You're damning him. Trin Rakai is the only hope for the Imperium." And you're out the door.
Yeah, no, that's blasphemy. That's heresy. I'm coming back to kill him after this.
Valentyne, Eli, and Morgan, you book it up the stairs, throw open a set of doors, and see an interrupted en route to orgy as Attikus bursts out of doors into a room full of toasty nobles. Frederick turns first in your direction, looking genuinely confused, and then sees Attikus burst out and sees Trin Rakai and just goes, "Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me! What? No!" As you storm into the room. I will also say, though, you say what you're going to say, and then I'll tell you what else happens.
I'm happy for you to paint the scene. Go for it.
No, this happens first, and then the other thing happens. So you say your piece.
Great. King, my name is Inquisitor Lucius Valentyne, and I'm here to save you from Forest Pollard. I've been sent because Trin Rakai has somehow betrayed you. I can get you out alive. I can do what needs to be done. I am loyal to the High Lords of Terra.
Oh, man, you fucked me. You, Pollard, all of you fucks. There's no one trustworthy left in this galaxy. Yeah, all right. Cool, save me from my fucking pet marine. At which point, Pollard's voice comes on over the intercoms and says, "Since you have all failed to produce the coward Frederick, it would seem I must do what must be done without him. My king." And Frederick's just like, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck." And he runs to you, Valentine's like, you gotta stop him immediately. You have to stop him immediately. Meanwhile,
Valentine's going to look him dead in the eyes and say, "Where is the seed?"
It's in the portal downstairs. And Trin Rakai goes, Oh, are the monkeys going to use the doors now? Wonderful. Well, let's go then. We should stop it before, well, it rips this place apart. Please lead the way. Chop, chop, chimp.
After you, my king.
And Frederick's like, again, looking between Trin Rakai and everyone else. And meanwhile, somebody's like, is that an aeldari? He's like, shut up. Okay.
Yeah, Eli's just like following Valentine's lead, but like, whoa, this is fucking disturbing.
Valentyne is going to take Trin Rakai and just bolt pistol to temple away from Attikus and be like, your arm, please. And so that Power Fist can get traded over for the arm swap.
Sure.
And then Valentyne will just hand Trin Rakai to Eli, I think, because Attikus needs to be punching in case we hit a Marine.
Sure.
And then he'll turn and say, who asked the question about the Eldar? Was that you? And he points to someone.
Yeah, just someone raises a hand and goes, yes, I read about them in a book.
Fabulous, heretic. And he shoots him in the head. And then he says, everyone else, you are going to be leading the way where we point. We're going downstairs. If you stop, I will kill you. If you fight your way forwards, you may live for the Emperor. Now is the time for the screaming and the running to begin. Steer them, he says to Morgan and Attikus, so we could just use all of these aristocrats as bullet shields to run down the stairs in front of us.
Okay, amazing. So you all begin to make your way down.
Mm-hmm.
Trin Rakai kind of leans, as Eli's forcing forward to you, Valentyne, just says, am I to assume that you are the one in charge then?
That would be entirely correct.
One of the God Emperor's minions?
Yes, of course. I mean, I speak with his voice. I am ultimately loyal to him. And so I will keep you alive because I find your information to be absolutely useful. And I expect you to assist us because if you don't, I do need you alive, but I don't need you with legs, arms, or eyes.
You make a fair point, Monkey. Also, if you do seek to reach your God Emperor in time, you will need my help where we're going. The portal, do you know anything of it? Have your inquisitorial investigations proven useful? This is obviously as the crowd is going down. People are starting to get shot from like the loyalist, not the loyalist, I guess the coup guards. But yeah, people are also one disadvantage the royal guards who've turned have is they are not full of booze, coke, and confidence, whereas these folks are. So there is a lot of party rage going on that they are not equipped for. Also, again, it's one thing to shoot a bunch of guards and low-level people. Shooting people at the top of the society is still feels wrong, you know? So that's all starting to
Valentine's
happen.
fine with the mob picking up weapons as long as they face forwards.
Yeah.
And we've got a sniper here who can just shoot through whatever's going on.
After you shot that one guy, they're kind of on side. Like, it's that classic thing with like starting a stampede where it's like whatever sparked the stampede is scarier than whatever the stampede is running towards. So no, their team move ahead and get the fuck out of it. Now, I will say they are dispersing wherever they can. If they can like fuck off, they are, but yeah,
he's just buying time. He will look at Trin Rakai and say, I do very much want to know about the portal, but I do have a question first. The king is somewhat prone to, shall we say, inserting bombs into people. Is it something that he actively triggers, or is it something that if he dies, it goes off?
And Trin Rakai kind of smiles at that and says, yes, that is something I lent him. No, it will go off if his biometrics cease, but once all this settles down, I will be very happy to assist in the removal. If you'd like to re-implant them into him, he ceased serving my tastes some time ago, so I would be happy to see him go.
Excellent. Knowing we're going into a combat zone, is there any way to disable this certain link? Otherwise, I may not be able to defend you because I have to defend him.
I'm going to roll a tech use check for Trin Rakai.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is going to be a weird one.
It's just a classic aeldari tech use pool. That one's definitely top of the manual.
Yeah, page 1.
I fucking love the
the
aeldari.
Trin Rakai.
They're so fucking cool.
He's going to get
this is Laura, not Eli.
This is Laura. No,
Yeah.
Eli is appalled and very upset.
I'm going to spend a story point to make this harder on myself.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
Good
that'll
for
put
you,
us
Tom.
at 3 for us, 2 for you, if I'm correct.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got 1 yellow, 2 green. Or sorry, that's not true at all. It should be 2 yellow, 2 green, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 purple, 2 black.
Nice.
And we could say Attikus's previous roll had, I think, 5 boost attached to it.
Did.
If we could throw two, we had 5 advantage. So if we could throw 2 boost onto this roll to try to make things a little less exploding.
Oh man, Attikus boosting his Xenos. Never thought I'd see the day.
He's not aware of it.
Situational. Yeah.
Okay, that's 4 success and 3 advantage. So, as you're kind of like bumping him along, he sees Eugene, I guess, on your belt at this point because he's been malfunctioning, and just says, "May I borrow your skull?"
Done and done, and hands it over.
And he looks at it and says, "Such primitive technology." And he just cracks open the back panel, and he is in there. And it's, again, like, you have no appreciation for this because he's Xenos trash. But it's almost like seeing someone play a harp. Like, it's that level of kind of gentle. He's not even looking that hard. Or someone doing a fast Rubik's Cube where they just toss it back and forth, and the fingers are just moving so elegantly and quickly that it's almost hard to see. Then he clicks and he says, "Yes, that ought to do." And he sort of pushes a button, and a green, like, scanning light comes out of one of Eugene's blinking eye. It just kind of runs it up and down you, Valentyne, and tosses the skull to kind of haphazardly, as still being like muscled along by Eli in a crowd, and just says, "That should jam them long enough that even if he pulls the trigger, they won't immediately destroy you, but I would keep him alive if you can. Not forever, but for now."
We will take what is given to us in this scenario. Tell me about the portal, tell me about the seed. Everyone else, eyes on the combat, but ears on the story.
Well, you see, that's where things get rather interesting, Inquisitor. I am required for the stability of both, so keeping me alive is also tantamount to you and whatever you want to do for your emperor. The portal, the seed, as the bigger, more evil monkey likes to call it, is a pathway into the webway, an entrance to the Black Library. It was buried here long, long ago, and my Drukhari compatriots would have much preferred it to stay that way. Unfortunately, many people found out about it, including your Forrest Pollard and his unit. They crashed here some time ago attempting to find it. Luckily, the crash injured them enough that someone with very talented fingers was able to remove their teeth, as it were. He's been serving this idiot ever since, under the assumption that once the seed is found, he can go home, reinstall his nails, and go back to being some kind of slobbering idiot, screaming for the name of blood and whatever the fuck else they like so much over there. The only unfortunate thing about all this is that we found the seed some time ago, and if he's discovered that, he's going to be rather pissed. It's one thing a Chaos Space Marine doesn't care for, it's lies. Ironic, I know, but here we are. So, we need to get down there and stop him, because if he turns it on, we're not going to the Black Library. We're going somewhere far fucking worse. So I would recommend that we go very fast.
That's what we're doing. So, excellent.
Good. Bump, bump, thump, bump, bump. All right, so you're rushing through this crowd. Attikus, you've got your power fist back on. Eli, Morgan, you're back with Valentyne. This is the first time the entire party has been together in like a year. So congrats, everybody, you did it. So
Yay.
barreling downstairs into the main room. And you just see a guard who's being overwhelmed by your mob, yelling into his comm, "Sir, they're here!" Before someone shoots him in the stomach. And again, the gunships just kind of loop around from outside. This time not circling, but instead just moving to the front door, that main front entrance, and spinning up their guns. The crowd ahead of you starts to become red mist. Now, interesting thing. You are forcing a mob of people ahead of you to provide human shields in order to get downstairs and find this portal. That also means that you can possibly do something about these birds if you want. Morgan, you're the only one with range.
Yep.
What would you do?
Yeah, Morgan would absolutely sight up the person driving, or is it a driver and a gunner? Or
It's so these things are drop ships, and they're meant to just kind of they would take down the roguish tradester or any other vehicle that was kind of whipping around. But no, they're I think I always imagine them kind of as a cross between like a drop ship and like an Apache chopper or something. So the person driving it is the one manning this gun anyway that's kind of directly ahead.
Yeah, then absolutely taking a headshot at that person to take that off the board.
Okay, so as people explode around you, Morgan, you sight up the rifle. We haven't had a proper Morgan sniper shot in a while, so let's see what we do and how we do.
Okay.
All right, so I need obviously ranged. You're on ranged heavy with this or ranged light?
It's ranged light.
Yeah. It's a range band of 4.
Okay.
It's not close. You get a setback for all the people. You get a boost for it being a vehicle. Oh, no, but you're trying to shoot the driver, not the vehicle. Never mind. Take it back. Yeah. I actually think it's probably a 2 setback for the mob situation. It's a lot of mob, but I also got a bunch of advantage as Trin Rakai.
Oh, yeah.
So you can have 2 boost from the Eldar who doesn't want to die today. He's having too good a time. And then there's all your bullshit that you have full access to for the first time in a long time. So what else we got?
So the sniper rifle is accurate, which means I get another boost.
Hell yeah.
And then because I'm a crack shot, when aiming, I remove a setback. So I take one of those away. And then when aiming, it counts as aiming twice, which means I get 2 more boost.
Oh my God.
Cool. Are there any setbacks that are unaccounted for?
There's 1 left.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that if you were like overkilling the setbacks, you got additional boost, but it sounds like we're even Stevens.
Yes.
All right. So that's your shot.
All right. We're gonna.
Do you want to spend any story points?
No. We're letting this ride. This is Morgan taking a moment, looking down that sniper scope between hands, faces, mist of blood spraying up, and just trying to perfectly sight up that driver in that drop ship. We got 3 successes and 3 advantages.
Just small burst of glass. Head jukes back. The ship just sort of spins as the driver slumps, crashing into kind of the the outside greenery, the shrubbery, all that sort of shit, and just kind of wedging into, like, it doesn't explode or anything. It wasn't flying that high above the outer parkade, and you just see a lone figure sprinting towards the front, and Sakator Voidstain, trained in the blade, leaps in and jams a blade through the crack in the glass into the already dead pilot. Wow. But he wants to help.
Good job, buddy.
Desperately wants to help.
Glad I get to see that through the sniper scope as I pointedly ignore it and tell Valentyne, the dropship is unmanned, Inquisitor.
Excellent. Tom, just to make sure I'm following, the portal, is it in the lower down section of this palace?
It is down where, surprise, the things that make all the weather control are. So it's in the guts of the ship. I will say, though, Morgan, you've got your sneaky guard headphones still on?
Yes.
Okay, so you hear scattered reports of, we've engaged the ship under heavy fire, call sign, roguish tradester. And you hear someone else saying, like, all right, send in rockets. Fuck. You realize that your ship is under heavy fire, and if you're declaring war on Greybridge, you are going to need a way out. How would you try and defend the roguish tradester?
This episode of the Valentyne Heresy features the voices of players Ryan LaPlante, Tyler Hewitt, Laura Hamstra, and Del Borovic, alongside Game Master Tom McGee. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and the Valentyne Heresy's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Ave Imperator, and death to all the heretics.
Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Old Man Mojo, Dragonfly, The Body Barrelers, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, The Gata Family, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Dan the Welshman, Afflicto Gaming, Aiden, Beef Not Cheese, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.